Another team that we've talked a lot about this offseason, the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks won 40 games in 2024-25, and they have gone out and they have added in a big way. They have gotten Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They have gone out and gotten Jalen Johnson back from injury, obviously, which is important. But most essentially, they have gotten Kristaps Porzingis into this group, who has been, when he's been on the court, a real driver of winning basketball the last couple of years for the Boston Celtics. Their total is 46.5. This is a team we've talked about a lot this offseason. We've talked very positively about them this offseason, Bryce. Where are you at on the Atlanta Hawks?
So let me ask you this, guys. What do you think is the lowest total wins for a number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference over the last 4 seasons?
I would guess it's in the like 47-ish ballpark.
Are we not including the COVID shortened 72 win season?
I just went the last 4.
So does that? So it's the year after that season.
Yeah. That's why That's why I only did 4 years. So I didn't have to do the math and project out over 82 games and all of that.
Is the lowest possible?
I mean, just of those 4 years.
Is it 40? Is it 49?
It's 48. 48 is the 48. The average is 50 wins for the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference over the last 4 years, with a low of 48. I think the Atlanta Hawks right now, I've been super high on them, as Sam referenced. We talked about the Trae Young and building a roster around Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. We didn't even mention Luke Kennard as an addition on this team as well. We have talked about like if it goes wrong, where it could go wrong. But with that said, based on where I think this team is in the East, based on how much I like this team and excited for them, and the data that says that you're going to win at least 48 games, I'm going to take the over on Atlanta here at 46.5. Not by a lot. I don't think they join those other teams as a 4th 50 win team, but I will take the over at this number of 46.5.
Andrew?
I'm over 2. A lot of the reasons that Bryce mentioned. I'm projecting a very big season for Trae Young. No one has ever averaged 25 and 12, and he's come close a few times. In fact, the only players to average 25 and 11 are Michael Adams, Tiny Archibald, James Harden, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, and Trae Young. And Trae's done it twice. So you add in the fact that, and this is where I'm just going to get a little nerdy with the data, like, you go to the pass tracking stats on NBA.com and you go to potential assists, and Trae's always up around 20. Like, he always leads the league in potential assists because of how much his ability to get downhill and his ability in the pick and roll to draw people to the ball and dish out to people. It leaves people open for shots. You add in that Jalen Johnson will hopefully be healthy this year. The Dyson Daniels, who shot 38% from 3 after the All-Star break, might be better. That Reese Shea takes another leap as a pro. He shot 41% from 3 after the All-Star break last year. And now, for the first time in Trae's career, he's playing with a true stretch 5 and one of the best ever. If they get 40 to 41 games out of Porzingis, this is going to be one of the more lethal offenses in the league. And it's a surefire over for me. So that's 2 for 2 so far.
So look, I'm going to take the over. I do just want to like lay out how this fails, right? If it does, I think that this fails. If Trae Young gets hurt, like if Trae gets hurt, like, you know, all bets are off, right? But by and large, Trae's been pretty healthy throughout the course of his career. Kristaps getting hurt would be a problem. Like, I think that would undeniably be an issue, but they do have the ability to like kind of make up for that a little bit with Onyeka Okongwu off the bench. Obviously, part of the reason that I'm feeling good about this over is that depth, the fact that they can bring Okongwu off the bench and they can, you know, have him as a depth option in case Porzingis gets hurt. I think that's really important. I like the idea of the lineup flexibility that they have. I think that they can go really big if they want to. They can go if, you know, I'm not saying this would be like ideal necessarily, but there are probably matchups where you could do this, where you go with the Porzingis Okongwu lineup and just kind of crush the glass. And then Okongwu's like kind of spacing a little bit now. You might be able to like run some like double drags where Onyeka is diving to the rim and KP's popping, and then you have Trae Young like getting into that floater range, and then you have two shooters out on the wings. Maybe it's Rissa Shea and it's Luke Kennard or something, and that's how you kind of infrastructure, make Luke Kennard work on defenses with the two big structure on the defensive end, right? So you're kind of stopping anything around the basket. And then on top of it, they can go small if they want to. Like KP essentially is a small, on offense because of his ability to shoot. And then you can just play like your normal lineup of Jalen Johnson, Rissa Shea, Dyson Daniels, and Trae Young. And, that's playing skilled small basketball while not actually being small on the court. It's kind of the thing because Dyson's 6'7", Rissa Shea is 6'9", Jalen Johnson 6'8" to 6'9". I love the flexibility that they have lineup wise. Injury concerns are real because this team doesn't have a ton of depth. They especially don't have a ton of depth at the point guard position right now, past Trae Young. But I think that if they're healthy, this team is going to win a lot of games. I think if they're healthy, they're going to win a lot of games this year. And I think that I'm going over. And I think I feel good about this over as well. The first three teams are the teams that I think are probably the top three teams in the East. Atlanta is the one team that I feel like, okay, they're really like the four for me. I don't have another team that is, really in their group. Like the next teams are kind of in a tier here by themselves. And it is very interesting to me to kind of talk, as we'll talk through those, why I feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, I have them below the top three. And I kind of have them grouped with the next couple teams I think that we're going to talk about. But I'm with you, Sam, that I would have Atlanta they are very much the leader. Like it's for the sake of not having a team in a tier by its own, essentially, which I think I would agree with you that if you said hey, do you really think they're in the same tier as the Pistons and the Bucks? I would probably tell you no. It's just I don't want that many lines on my Google sheet. And so I just remind myself that there's a little bit of a who's notorious for the half tiers and the quarter tier. Is it Hollinger or somebody like that has tiers within tiers or something? I don't know. Hoop Collective always makes fun of somebody.
The Seth Greenberg tiers of
yeah. It's
we got tier 2B, C in the ACC.
Yeah. It's Greenberg that does tier 2A, 2B, 2C. For out of respect for not doing that, I have them in the next. But yeah, I felt pretty good about this. And then the data that I looked at over the last 4 seasons just made me feel better.
Okay.
Real quick, I have all 4 teams winning 50 games this year.
Oh, nice.
At least 50 games. So I have 4 50-win teams in the East.
For reference, 3 of the last 4 seasons, that has happened. 3 of the last 4 seasons, there have been 4 50-win teams in the Eastern Conference.
Even more so, I don't have any team in the East winning 60. So
yep.
With 2 winning 60 last year, we still got 4 50-win teams in the East.
Correct.
So there's just more wins to go to the middle now.
Yep.